Hi, I'm Zenobia Harris, Executive Director of the Arkansas Birthing Project, and I have with me here today Tamisha Lewis, who has a few questions for me.
Yes, Zenobia, I do have a few questions for you, and I know I've came to the right person. Now, my first question is, what is SIDS?
Well, SIDS is the unexplained death of an infant under the age of 1, and unfortunately it occurs more often in African Americans than it does in any other racial and ethnic group in the United States.
What are some things everyone should know about SIDS?
Well, most SIDS deaths occur between the ages of 1 month to 4 months of age. And unfortunately, boys are more likely to die from SIDS than girls are. Another thing that I think everybody needs to know is that SIDS sometimes runs in families. So if there's a family history of people having had a SIDS death, then it's more likely to occur again in a family. And unfortunately, like I said, there's a racial and ethnic division among the people that it happens to.
Yeah.
So that's unfortunate, and it's something that we ought to be on the lookout for as we're taking care of our babies and our projects.
When do most SIDS deaths happen?
Unfortunately, most SIDS deaths happens when a baby is actually sleeping in an area where someone else is there. So that's why it's important for babies to sleep in their own areas by themselves on their backs. It's always safest for a baby to sleep on their back.
Okay.
Some authorities think that it's helpful for babies to suck a pacifier, but it's very important that they're on their back when they're asleep. And we can't get that message across strong enough for everybody.
So what can I do to reduce the risk of SIDS?
Well, that's a good question. One of the most important things you can do is make sure babies don't sleep with you when they're sleeping or napping. It's very important because, as we talked about earlier, a lot of the deaths occur when babies are sleeping with someone else. The other thing is that they have a firm surface to sleep on. Their mattress in their crib or in other areas where babies might be sleeping needs to be firm and free of other things like blankets or toys, so that there's nothing the baby could get tangled up in. Important things to remember are that this runs in families, and so there's a likelihood that it could occur in families. So it's very important that the bed that they sleep in has a firm surface and that it's safety approved.
So what are some things people can do before the baby is born to prevent SIDS?
Well, it's very important that a woman not smoke, drink alcohol, or use illegal drugs while she's pregnant. That sets her up to be at higher risk for having a SIDS death. The other thing that's very important is to breastfeed, believe it or not, and preparing yourself to be a breastfeeding mom while you're pregnant, and then actually breastfeeding your baby gives them additional protection against SIDS death.
So how about crib safety in SIDS?
Well, I think it's important for us to always make sure that the baby's beds are safety approved. So that means they can't be second-handed or something that somebody rigged together for them to sleep in.
Right.
And if they're sleeping in a crib with the slats in it, it's important that the slats are about the size of a Coke can width apart and no more, so that the baby can't accidentally get hung up in there, get their head hung up in there, and unfortunately have a bad accident because of that.
Right.
Some other things that are important is that we keep a clean, dry area for babies to sleep, and that there aren't a lot of toys and those kinds of things in the area. I think we've talked about that earlier. I just can't stress enough that it's important that the bed is safety approved and that babies not sleep in swings, car seats, or other areas that are convenient, but they're not safe for our babies. And always, 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 they've got to be asleep on their backs. It's really important that we all work to make sure that our babies are kept safe. And SIDS, unfortunately, occurs at 3 times the rate in African Americans than it does in any other racial and ethnic group in the United States. We've got to make sure that our babies sleep on firm mattresses or firm sleep surfaces, that there are no other additional toys or other things in the bed that could be harmful to babies. We have to make sure that our moms are taken care of during pregnancy and that they are not using alcohol, drugs, or smoking during pregnancy, which puts women at higher risk for having a SIDS death. But the most important thing that we need to remember is we always put our babies to sleep on their back, always, even when they're taking a little nap. And that we do provide some supervised tummy time for them when they're awake, where someone's watching them while they're on their tummies, which gives them an opportunity to move their muscles and to develop their head strength, and also prevents them from having a flat head. So thanks for listening in on us today, and we hope that you'll take this message about SIDS to other family and friends out there in your communities. Thank you.